Educational management, concept, scope, and types, centralized, decentralized, democratic, authoritarian, participatory, non-participatory, Pay 6 Odisha B.Ed and Education Honors. Educational management, concept, scope, and types, centralized, decentralized, democratic, authoritarian, participatory, non-participatory. Introduction. Educational management refers to the process of planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and evaluating human and material resources in an educational institution to achieve predefined educational goals efficiently and effectively. It involves both administrative and leadership functions aimed at ensuring quality teaching learning, accountability, and the holistic development of learners and institutions. It blends the principles of management science with the philosophy of education, ensuring that educational institutions function in a systematic, purposeful, and progressive manner. Concept of educational management. Educational management is both an art and science. It is an art because it requires creativity, human interaction, decision making, and leadership. It is a science because it follows principles, systems, and procedures for effective institutional functioning. It involves planning, setting goals, policies, and activities, organizing, structuring roles, delegating responsibilities, directing, guiding, and motivating staff and students, controlling and evaluating, monitoring performance, ensuring quality, leading, providing vision, and inspiring stakeholders. It is oriented toward the development of learners, teacher empowerment, curriculum transaction, resource utilization, and the creation of conducive learning environments. Scope of educational management. The scope of educational management is vast, as it covers every component of the education system: instructional management, planning and supervising teaching learning processes; institutional management, daily functioning of schools and colleges, infrastructure, timetable, discipline, etc. Administrative management, implementation of educational policies, rules, regulations, and coordination with government bodies. Human resource management, recruitment, training, appraisal, and professional development of teachers and staff. Financial management, budgeting, allocation, and auditing of educational funds. Resource and infrastructure management, optimum use of material resources like TLMs, buildings, labs, ICT. Policy implementation and governance, ensuring the application of constitutional, legal, and policy guidelines in institutions. Community and parent involvement, ensuring stakeholder participation in school development. Monitoring and evaluation, academic audits, supervision, and improvement of teaching standards. In short, educational management functions at macro level, government, state policies, and micro level, school, classroom, focusing on both quality assurance and educational access. Types of educational management. Educational management can be classified based on decision-making authority, leadership style, and stakeholder involvement. These include 1. Centralized and decentralized management. Centralized management. All decisions and policies are controlled by a central authority, like the Ministry or Department of Education. Uniformity in rules, standard curriculum, centralized examinations. Less autonomy for local institutions. Common and traditional systems and bureaucratic setups. Decentralized management. Authority is distributed among regional, district, or institutional levels. Promotes local participation, autonomy, and context-specific planning. Encouraged in NEP 2020, which promotes school complexes, school management committees, SMCs. Supports bottom-up planning, encourages community ownership. 2. Democratic and authoritarian management. Democratic management involves collective decision-making with the participation of teachers, students, parents, and community. Emphasizes mutual respect, transparency, accountability, and inclusion. Encourages creativity, innovation, and teacher autonomy. Best suited for child-centered and inclusive education. Authoritarian management. One person or a group holds complete control over decision-making. Little or no input from subordinates or community. Common in highly bureaucratic or traditional institutions. May be effective in times of crisis but reduces motivation and participation. 3. Participatory and non-participatory management. Participatory management involves teachers, students, parents, and community members in planning and execution. Seen in school development and monitoring committees, SDMCs, parent-teacher associations, PTAs, and school-based planning. Builds ownership, ensures local accountability and transparency. Enhances innovation, cultural relevance, and responsiveness. Non-participatory management. Decisions are taken by authorities without consulting stakeholders. Reduces motivation, innovation, and adaptability. Often leads to disconnect between institutional goals and ground realities. Examples from Odisha and national level. Odisha has implemented school management committees, SMCs, under RTE Act for participatory school governance. Programs like Mo School Abhiyan, Odisha Adarsh Vidyalay Sangathan, OAVS, and 5T High School Transformation involve elements of decentralized and participatory management. NEP 2020 promotes autonomy, community engagement, and flexibility in school governance. Conclusion. Educational management is a critical backbone for achieving educational goals. Understanding its types and scope helps institutions adopt the best suited strategies based on context and objectives. A shift from authoritarian and centralized forms to decentralized, democratic, and participatory management ensures not only better governance but also improved learning outcomes. In the present context, where inclusivity, equity, quality, and accountability are emphasized, participatory and decentralized management approaches are most effective for sustainable educational development.